Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN is presented by Tecate Born Bold. And it's brought to you by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. As well as by Canelo Golovkin. Live on pay-per-view September 16th. Watch it online at ringtv.com. Powered by Fights. All right. This got close near the end, B-Hop. Machado had it early, and then Morales made it a fight. And I want to know, was this a knockdown or not?
No, referee made a good call. It wasn't a knockdown, it was a push, but a punch was thrown. But it started first with the tangle of the feet. And that's why the referee called a good call and the right call.
I mean, it's one of those things where there was a punch, but if you see it here, you say knockdown. If you look at the whole picture, like we were lucky enough to see with that replay, you see the fact that they got their feet tangled. But nonetheless, that was the story of the second half of the fight. Carlos Morales making it competitive.
Making it very competitive to the end, you know, but a little bit, I believe, a little too late, but he made it competitive. If he'd have done that early, it would have been good.
All right, so the decision is up with Henry Leboy, our ring announcer for the evening.
Atención, damas y caballeros, aquí el resultado de esta pelea. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the scorecards. The judge, Luis Ruiz, el juez Luis Ruiz, scores it 99-90, 99-90. César Ramos la anotó 99-90, 99-90. And Gerardo Jerry Martinez scores it 98-91, all for the winner by unanimous decision. And still NABO champion and now NABA champion. En the super featherweight, el campeón por decisión unánime lo es Alberto el Explosivo Machado.
So Machado gets a deserved win. Credit to Carlos Morales, who made this Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry, you know, justice. But I mean, I think 99-90 is a little wide, B-Hop.
Yeah, it is a little wide, but the right decision went to the right guy. And then, listen, they kept the reputation up. Both guys came in wanting to win. One started a little too late when he came on, but, you know, it was a good fight. The crowd was excited. It was a great venue. And look, we were in San Juan on ESPN.
That's
a great
right.
night.
In Puerto Rico, the Isle of Enchantment. Saw some great fighters here. So Alberto Machado improves to 18-0. Now he becomes the top #3 ranked fighter with a WB at 130 pounds. So we wish you a good night. We'll see you September 15th on the eve of Canelo Golovkin. For Bernard Hopkins, I'm Bernardo Osuna. Coming up next, the Fantasy Show on ESPN.
It's time to give the people what they want. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose.
What up, Dow?
I am David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
And we are Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. What do we do?
We give the people what they want.
First things first, this dude right here is giving the people what they want with the jelly roll belly roll. Got him outside at night playing pickup. My favorite Husky ball handler of all time is none other than the legendary Escalade. Who is yours?
Trey Jackson, rest in peace. Younger brother of Mark Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So, since you already put him on wax, I have another one for you.
Who's that?
This was post-retirement Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay. Little UCLA pickup game, Magic Johnson.
In the professional, when he came back, faked the pass, and Sprewell went for it, and he did the layup.
Great call. Great call. We're moving on. Obviously, it seems like NFL Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith is a big fan of the Jalen and Jacoby program because he has now come out and said that it is inevitable, it is definitely going to happen, that there will be a lockout, a cease of NFL games when the current CBA is up in 2021. Jalen Rose, you have been saying this for literally years now. Why is it so important to you?
Hit the brakes.
Okay.
We had Richard Sherman joined our show briefly during the ESPYs. I said the exact same thing to him I'm going to say right now. I'm as big of a football fan as there is. I support the shield, the red, white, and blue, by the way, that resembles of an American flag. However, for NFL players to truly take advantage of their platform and maximize the opportunity to get optimum for the owners, the best way to do it ain't waiting to 2021.
See, that's the thing. It's like he's negotiating. He's negotiating now in 2017, saying, "Oh, in 4 years we're going to strike. You guys better watch out." And it's like, okay.
I got a news flash for you. The average player in the NFL, which constitutes 60% of the league, they won't be in the league in 4 years.
That's a good point.
That's too long. You want to make a statement? You really want to make a statement? When week 1 starts, we good.
Yeah, forget the national anthem. We're just not even going to be there. Forget whether we're sitting down or standing up or kneeling or whatever. We just will not be there. Most of the points of contention during this deal are guaranteed money, player discipline, the power of the commissioner, and player safety. Which of those do you think is most important to the players?
Guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money. They're like, you know what, the safety stuff and the power of the commissioner, discipline, that's all very important, but we need this guaranteed money. Because as you mentioned, in 4 years, the players, a lot of the players in the NFL will not be around to reap the benefits of the new CBA.
And here's the domino effect. You said the second thing was about discipline. Well, if I'm getting more bread, then I can figure out a way to pay the fines. Okay, the power of the commissioner, it doesn't look as bad when my money's guaranteed.
I like this. You're saying not only should NFL players strike, they shouldn't wait until 2021 to do it.
Just think about the power that they have right now. It becomes an uproar for people whether they decide to do an individual protest that's peaceful, that's passive during the national anthem. Imagine if they decided 1,300 strong, we not playing this Sunday.
I would love to see it. I doubt that we will see it. However, I definitely think we will see a lockout in 2021 as they are already negotiating it.
Too long.
Moving on, as we get closer and closer to the big fight, some more details are coming out. I don't care about the weight of the gloves as much as I care about who is going to be in attendance. We've got a partial list, courtesy of TMZ. Angelina Jolie will be there. Drake will be there. Diddy will be there. Mark Wahlberg. Denzel, not Denzel Crumb. Denzel Washington. LL Cool J. Jamie Foxx. LeBron. Bob Kraft. Rick Ross. Elon Musk. And Charlize Theron. Jalen Rose, are you sure you're not going to this fight?
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. A game time decision at this point.
More importantly, do you know who Elon Musk is?
I don't, but I know what Musk is.
Do you know who Charlize Theron is?
An actress.
Good call. We also have this. We've got Bryn Jonathan Butler, who's a boxing writer for Sporting Life, and he had this interesting quote. You know, nothing crazy, nothing that no one else has thought, but he verbalized it very well. Quote, "It's more likely that Mayweather has a heart attack on the way to the fight than it is for him to lose to McGregor." Well, this got me and the staff thinking, Jalen. What things could possibly happen that would keep Floyd Mayweather from winning this fight?
I don't like the approach.
Go ahead. We have a list, but I want to hear from you first.
I don't like the thought of thinking of catastrophic things that may happen.
Oh, I love doing that.
I don't like to put that in the atmosphere. You clearly do. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to give any examples. Once Floyd gets into that ring, he's going to mass produce the Harriet Tubman 20s, and he's going to beat Conor McGregor easily.
We know that. Now, this is an interesting detail that came out about Floyd's preparation for this fight. You know, he works very hard in training camps, but he put out an Instagram post today inviting everyone to his club and said that he will be partying every single day the week before the fight. Too much champagne and campaign keep Floyd Mayweather from winning the fight.
He might be campaigning, but he won't be champagning. That's the difference. And also, the optics may look like he's getting it in, but all he's doing is raking it in. The money. He's going to go, shake hands, kiss baby, show his face, and then you know what he's going to do? He's going to walk right out the back door and go run for 10 miles.
What about this? What if someone else fights for Conor McGregor? What if there's a Conor McGregor imposter, someone in a Conor McGregor mask? Could that keep Floyd Mayweather from winning the fight?
No, because 49 people have fought Floyd Mayweather in the ring, and he's beaten all of them.
That's a good point. What if Mayweather wins the $510 million ball before the fight and decides he doesn't need the money?
No, he's going to get both. Money Mayweather.
Well, the only thing I could possibly see really stopping Floyd Mayweather from beating Conor McGregor, just nuke annihilation. You know what I mean? Just all get vaporized. You know, that's the only way I could possibly see this happening.
Well, with our current regime...
You know what? Let's go to break before we all get fired and canceled. You're watching Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN. Jalen Rose, what are some of those amazing experiences?
First and foremost, I want to thank people such as yourself that dedicate their time, their energy, their money to help support the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
No doubt.
We're a tuition-free public charter high school that gets zero state funding for its facilities. So it's paramount that we fundraise. So I'm truly grateful. I'm truly honored that we have so many great experiences when you go to jrladetroit.com. Great vacations. We have great memorabilia. In particular, signed jersey by Magic Johnson.
You can go to Kimmel.
Derek Jeter, signed helmet. Experiences,
like
as you mentioned.
Coming to Jalen and Jacoby would be one of those.
No question. NBA Countdown, the ESPYs.
Give the
lunch
people what they want.
at the ESPN campus with the talented Molly Kiram.
Nice.
I'm really excited about this year's auction, our golf outing, and our gala, which takes place August 28th and 29th. We're really excited and appreciate everybody's support.
Go to jrla.gesture.com and check that all out. Jalen, my favorite piece of video this entire week is James Harden on some sort of game show in some foreign country trying to spin the wheel. Check it out. When you first saw this, did you laugh out loud?
I didn't.
You didn't? Why not?
Here's
you would
what
have done the
I
same
did.
thing. You would have done the same thing.
No, here's what I did. Here's a few things at play here. Follow me.
Okay.
One, I immediately went to Adam Silver's Twitter to see if that was going to be a failed drug test
Okay.
for James Harden. Number two, it's a sponsored event. Big shout Adidas and Jim Gatto, also supporters of the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't look like the most intelligent person that could be on a game show because he spun the small timer as opposed to the wheel. And number three, he was clearly checking out the young lady standing there and wasn't focused.
I love that video. James Harden's one of my favorite basketball players. I love him so much. So now we have this. Malcolm Jenkins was not kneeling or sitting during the national anthem, but he did have his fist raised in the air, and alongside of him was Chris Long, who said this about the gesture, quote, "I am here to show support as a white athlete." To you, what is the significance of this gesture from Long?
The significance is so many times when people have a cause that's near and dear to them and or people that have been oppressed in one way, shape, or form, a lot of times when you get a chance to hear them talk about their plight, it becomes white noise for so many people. But when somebody else actually joins in, that in this case doesn't look like them, now all of a sudden you have to pay a lot more attention, because that's truly how we get to the end goal. It's one thing for a certain race or religion or creed to talk about their plight. It's for other people to also join in and support that allows us, A, the solidarity to work together, and or B, it furthers the commentary and or the opportunity for us to get a resolution. So I truly appreciate him doing that. Let's see if other people follow suit.
I appreciate him doing it as well, because he's also was very articulate about it afterwards, knowing that he was going to be asked about it. He said, look, like I'm on wax saying how I feel about the national anthem and how that's important to me and why, but that doesn't mean I cannot support my brothers. That doesn't mean that I cannot support someone else who is protest isn't the right word, who is sort of just making an example and drawing attention to some of the injustice in our land. I really appreciate that from Chris Sloan. I encourage everyone to go see and read what he said about it afterwards. Quick pivot to this. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving have been the talk of the offseason and the future collapse of the Cleveland Cavaliers that have been to the finals for 3 straight years. Just like every other team, they've got new jerseys, the new Nike jerseys. So LeBron James posted a photo of him in the new Nike jerseys. Easy question for you, Jalen Rose. Does he seem happy?
He's more enthusiastic in his workout videos, flexing a lot more.
Exactly. He doesn't like wearing shirts during the offseason. We know that. But if you look at him, he's not really smiling, and he's got his arms up, but he's not really flexing. Like, it just seems like, you know, before you post something on social media, you look at it yourself. You say, do I need another take of this? Should we do another one? Did he post that sort of subversively, intentionally, not seeming that happy to be in the uniform?
No, here's what took place.
What happened?
And I want to quote Chris Rock here. Shaq is rich. The person that writes his check is wealthy. And what took place here is, wait a minute, LeBron may be gone at the end of this year? Hold on. Kyrie possibly want to get traded? Are they both still under contract right now? Got it. We about to put these new jerseys out right now and make this bread.
But does he seem excited about the season when you look at this picture?
That's my point. It wasn't him that initiated the fact that, you know what, I'm enthusiastic. Let's get some new uniforms. That came from team issue, from ownership, from the league.
And from Nike. You know he has a Nike rep that called up and said, oh, LeBron, we want you to wear the new Nike jersey. And he was like, nah. And then the Nike guy had to call his boss. And his boss had to call LeBron and be like, LeBron, you have to do this.
Hit the brake. Hit the brake. And this is how it works in corporate America, everybody. Kyrie's picture's coming soon to a theater near you.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see Kyrie in that Cleveland jersey. Someone tells me Dan Gilbert's going to get the information. He's going to be like, nope, not going to be able to do it.
Wait till training camp start.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll see. We'll see if he's even on the Cleveland Cavaliers in training camp. You know what I would do if I was the Cavs? I would keep him the entire year. Just keep both of them the entire year just to see what happens. We'll go back to the finals. No big deal. Finally, you are not in the National Basketball Hall of Fame, nor will you ever be. But thankfully, for the people that run Hoops Nation's Instagram account, you have been immortalized. They posted this post saying the most immortal hairline in the game and included 4 pictures of you, Jalen Rose, and that crispy 90-degree angle that is on your head. What is your reaction to this sort of appreciation?
A couple of things I don't take credit for and will never try. First and foremost, the name Jalen. Had zero to do with it.
Yeah, you weren't even conscious when that was created.
Was born on a concrete in the middle of January. It was freezing outside. My biological father wasn't there. My Uncle Leonard took my mother to the hospital.
You better take credit for your hairline because you spent over $1 million on that thing.
She put the 2 names together. Thus, Jalen's become a common name. The second one, I've looked at some pictures of my biological father. I think that's where I got it from.
Oh.
He had the crispy hairline also.
Oh, no, Jalen. You know what this means? You got to have a son. We'll be back with more on Jalen and Jacoby. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, it is time for my favorite segment of the week. It's time for What We Learned. This is where we encapsulate all the lessons that we learned this week during the show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Jalen Rose, first thing that we learned, LeBron James is definitely, possibly, definitely, maybe leaving Cleveland at the end of this season.
Nobody knows. Here's the deal. With all things equal, and by the way, championship contention has to be in play, LeBron would love to be in purple and gold after this season, playing on a newly formed super team.
Sure.
But when you do that and you go to the West, it better be one.
That's the thing. It's like, LeBron James doesn't know 100% what he is doing. There's a lot of different ways that this could break, but I'll promise you this. What he is going to do is look at the landscape, look at the possible teams, and look at those teammates and say, which one of these teams is going to put me in the best position to win the championship? If it's not the Lakers, if it's just going to be him and Lonzo Ball and, Randall, like, he's not going to the Lakers if it's not putting him in a position to compete in the Western Conference.
Don't underestimate CP3 is on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
So is Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
The Lakers are opening up space.
Dwayne Wade might be available. He's at the end of his deal.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But again, it must be a super team. It can't just be him and a bunch of young guys for novelty.
LeBron James will never play on another team that is not considered a super team until he finally joins his son, Bron Jr., when he gets drafted. I promise you that's going to happen. Remember where you heard it first. Next, we learned Kevin Durant going to the White House. He's not going. I don't think he'll be invited, but he's not going to go. He made it very clear that he was not interested in joining a White House invite.
All I know is this was discussed in November of 2016 on this program.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. That's right. Another thing we learned, Kawhi Leonard actually has the ability to smile. First, he was smiling with 2 Chainz. It was the first time I've ever seen him show any emotion, mad, happy, sad, or anything. Proving, or not proving, but if at least improving that if he is a basketball robot, they've now like programmed emotion into his head. But also, he smiled in China. 2 smiles 1 week from Kawhi Leonard. What does that tell you?
A couple of things that I like to see happening with Kawhi Leonard. Fellow Steve Fisher product, by the way.
Good point.
And Brian Dutcher, big shout. 1, he had on his own gear, shirt and hat.
Yep.
And 2, he's still rocking the cornrows, so he's good.
He's still rocking the cornrows. But again, the cornrows are always 2 weeks old. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Jalen Rose, would you feel comfortable wearing a Jalen and Jacoby T-shirt, like if we're around on the streets?
I've done it.
See, I
will
can't
do it.
I can't do it.
And need to do it on this program.
Not gonna be able to do it.
That's why you never sold any memorabilia.
Another thing we learned, as if losing the biggest Super Bowl lead in the history of the sport wasn't bad enough, Falcon fans, they're just having a rough year. Now they don't get Chick-fil-A. They got a new stadium. They got a Chick-fil-A in there. But Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday, meaning 7 of the 8 home games, they will not be able to eat their Chick-fil-A. What do you think about this development?
I have a remedy. Waffle House all day.
More Waffle House. If you have a Waffle House, you don't need a Chick-fil-A. Waffle House over Chick-fil-A every time, every day. Another thing we learned, this is the summer of Hoodie Mello. We had KD, we had LeBron, we had Enes Kanter, we had J.R. Smith, and of course, Hoodie Mello playing pickup. Hoodie Mello not just wore the hoodie, but he wore the hoodie on while he played pickup.
You're going to hear a lot of people run with what we just discussed. We can cheer for Hoodie Mello and him getting buckets. But when you're wearing a hood, you're not playing D, and you're definitely not passing.
You're not passing, you're not playing D. And
you have zero peripheral
2 things
vision.
he's not planning on doing next year if he stays with the Knicks. I will tell you that much. Another thing we learned, and this is kind of sad for you especially, we learned millennials don't like breasts. We learned this because Hooters is shutting down locations, and they're blaming millennials for the reasons that they have to shut down because millennials are no longer interested in what Hooters has to, quote-unquote, serve up. Your thoughts, Mr. Rose?
Via TV, radio, and internet, they lose their innocence so early, they can just press www and go wherever they want to go.
Before we get fired, we're just going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Jalen and Jacoby, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We'll be back in a couple weeks.
You're far too